Welcome back to Career Build Series. This is episode number 120, and so we're here at the hospital with Night Owl. Last episode went ahead, did a rescue, brought out Night Owl again, and dropped people off at the hospital. So let's go ahead and get started here. What I want to do is we need to start working on getting some money. I also want to play with a new build that I've been building in a live stream. If you've been watching those, I built a large cargo airplane called Minke. It looks like a whale, and that airplane is going to be kind of a moneymaker for us. We'll be able to take up to 4 containers places. Likely the only place we're really going to go with it is BVG. It was built as a VTOL so that we could go up there to BVG in the Arctic. The way the devs designed the Arctic really isn't great for logistics. It would be nice if Tajin also had a cargo base. That way it would kind of give us a reason to go up there a little bit more. We could take regular airplanes up there. I tend not to like to do too much VTOL stuff as far as cargo, seeing it's not all that realistic. And it'd be nice if we could just do some planes and go from airport to airport. We have FJ, which I think was well done for that reason. And it would be nice if we could go up to Tajin, but the only way we can really go into BVG is by using a VTOL. And so I have Minke now, and so what I think I'm going to do is we're not going to move containers yet, but what I want to do is I want to go ahead and move some fuel. We have a bunch of jet fuel sitting in the FJ docks, and what I want to do is take that and we'll fly up to the military base in Minke, and then we will sell that fuel. So Minke holds about 50,000 pounds of fuel, which is about 29,000 liters of fuel. And so what we'll do is we'll bring that up to the military base and we'll sell it. So it's, I believe, $6 per liter. So that's a good bit of money there. It's about 180,000. It sounds like a lot of money, but in order to keep Triton in the world, that's about 500-600 with all of its parasite craft. So we need quite a bit of cash just to operate Triton by itself. So we're coming up on FJ now. Lights are on. I left the gear down. It's fine. Come in here and we'll start to slow it down. Alright, we're starting to slow down now. And we're descending. So coming in around 65 knots now, descending. And we'll land, put this away. I'll go ahead and quickly bring in Triton. And I need to offload Shroom. We might be able to see Triton. It's out there just off the tip of the docks where I had the autopilot stop it, so we'll turn and see if I can see it here. It is out there, it's just hard to see. Right there, there's Triton right there. Okay, so there's Triton. So go ahead and bring Triton all the way in. Put all that away. That will get us a lot of our money back. We'll also put some of this fuel back in the bench, and then we can start moving that jet fuel and get a little cash money, dollar bills. So I'm looking forward to the Space DLC. That should be out 4 days from recording here. So that will be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to pressurization. I think that's going to be a big update. Also, they're changing the way that vehicles stay in the world from their parent object. So that's going to be interesting with things like drones and how things interact. It might change the way missions work. I'm not sure. This is all my speculation because need to be a certain distance for the missions to come in, and so that may change that, but it also may not. Go ahead and we'll put the parking brake on. I'll go ahead and shut the fuel valves off. We'll go and do a quick shutdown here. Alright, and we're outie. Alright, good. So I will see you guys from Triton. Alright, so here we are back on Triton. So we're going to go ahead and we'll bring Triton in for docking. And while Triton is coming in, I'm going to go ahead and I will fly Shroom in. That will allow us to be able to put Shroom away as well. So what I'll do here actually is I'm going to zoom out. We'll come up to the docks at FJ. If we zoom in, we can see they're pretty well represented. Here is the main area there. So we're going to go right about there. And so I'll just put that marker in there. And I'll start to power up. And then the autopilot will shut the ship off once we get there. So I'm just going to make sure it's on. Yep, autopilot's on. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and we will jump in the drone control unit, and we will fly Shroom and put Shroom away in the hangar. Alright, make sure all the modes are off. Good. Power on and start it up. We'll put the AP on. It'll stand up. Tipped over. That's just part of the design I need to maybe work on. We'll see. Alright, and we'll release and we'll fly off here. Alright, what's my current heading? We'll say 212. So let's put that in there. 212. We'll do heading hold. We'll do about, let's say, 200 feet on the altitude. I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to kind of automate this a little bit, get a little bit quicker. We'll go ahead and set a waypoint there. And we'll go ahead, do nav GPS, and we're on our way. So I'm going to watch the altitude. This is a little bit rambunctious in its motions, so let's go up a little bit here. There we go. It's working a little bit better now, but if the p-value is too high, it's trading too much of its lift of its rotors to go forward. Then it needs to maintain altitude. So losing a little altitude, that just means I need to change a little bit. Lose some speed. We're currently going 50 knots, which is a pretty respectable speed. You know, that's coming up on 3 times the speed of Triton. So that's one of the benefits of this, is you can just get places a lot quicker. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'm going to see if I can see Shroom heading out. Always like to kind of watch it. So, did an update on Shroom in a live stream. So, main thing added was a bunch of lights, nav lights, strobes, beacon. That should, especially in low light conditions, that should make it a lot easier to see Shroom. So, there's Shroom right there. So, the funny little vehicle. So. It'll be much nicer when it has the strobes on it and the beacon, so we'll be able to see it. So one of the things is, you know, Shroom's going to go and it's going to sit over a rescue. So you imagine if that was sitting over where we need to go to rescue. You know, if it had strobe on, we could see it a little bit more easily and we know where to go to. So that looks like that is getting close. Alright, so let's go ahead back downstairs. Try not to leave every door open, but we'll close some of them. And we'll go and we'll land Shroom in the hangar, and then we can go ahead and put that away as well. So I will go ahead and I will take off a bunch of the modes here, and is it going to wig out and crash? Let's hope not. It's going to wig out and crash. And we crashed. Alright, so that's sucky. Alright, I'm going to go. I'll see you guys over there. We'll have to drag it inside. Alright, so here we are with Shroom. Shroom's a little bit on fire here. Not a big deal. We'll go drag it inside and put it away. That's just, I pulled the rug right out from under it right at the last second there. So it was still doing some motion. I should have been a little bit more soft with that. So let's grab the Mac R wrecker. Yeah, first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead. We have no diesel whatsoever here, I don't think. Let me check. Might be completely out of diesel here. I need to grab the fire extinguisher anyway, so let's put this fire out, and then I will take a different vehicle to bring that back. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this moving here and put this away. Alright, so the fire is out on Shroom. And I don't have the diesel for this. If we look at the base here, I have no diesel. So that's something we need to rectify in the future. We're going to have a bunch of diesel here in a second as I put Triton back at the bench. But as you can see, I do need a lot more diesel. So let's put this away. That was useful, at least for that. I'm just going to grab my electric cart. Alright, and so this should work here. I think I do have a tie down somewhere on here. I'm not sure where I put it. Maybe I didn't. So that needs some tie downs as well. You can probably grab one of the connector panels, maybe. Let's see. Let's see if I can just push it in. Actually, I can do a hose, but I don't have anything to hook a hose on here. So let's just try to push it in there. All right. We'll just push shroom in. Shroom just needs to be close enough that the workbench can accept it. There we go, and we'll just push it in from the side. Didn't like grabbing that friction block. It was very sticky. It's a nice thing of having an autopilot on Triton, is I can just keep it moving while I'm doing other things. So, you know, I'd say the crash of this was partly due to, again, the p-values being too high in that. It's overreacting, and so that was a little bit of tuning, me trying to get a little bit faster, and so still need some more work. There we go. We're gonna crash as much stuff as we can this episode. All right, so we should be able to take this one. We can return that first, and then we can grab this. All right, shroom is put away. So the new shroom, let's see. All right, so this is the new shroom here. I've added a beacon on there. I have some strobes on the side here, some nav lights on either side there. And now it seems imperative to do this. We'll go ahead and put on symmetry. Go like that. Let's see. They're both reds. They're both reds. Okay, and we'll grab some rope anchor. There's rope anchors right there. And that way we can, if we ever need to again, which is likely, we can rope it. So let's go ahead and save that. So you really don't know what you're going to need at times until you really test it out in kind of a real world environment here, and then you see what your builds need. All right, so I'll catch back up with you guys on Triton. All right, so we're ready to dock Triton here. So let's go ahead. We'll come up on the starboard screw. And we'll steer on starboard. That's going to keep us pushing towards this dock on the left here. It's going to also help us turn. As you can see, we're just using the one screw is going to allow us to go more towards port. And I'm going to start to center the rudder here. That's something I also fixed on Triton. Was I made it so the rudder centers a little bit faster. Alright. And so having that one screw is going to push us towards the dock, and as you can see, I can actually rudder away and ruddering to starboard, and now we're going diagonally in towards the dock. So go ahead, we'll dock and put this away. That will fix some of our diesel woes that we have currently at FJ with no diesel, but we do have the rig pumping, so we don't really have to worry about it. Put this away, grab Minke, and then we'll head up to the military base with some jet fuel, and that should help us to get a little bit of cash money, dollar bills. Alright, there we are. Let's go ahead and we will exit and try to get up on this dock. This dock is even taller, right? And be nice if they would have made the docks a little bit more normal sized, but I don't know how much that has to do with them wanting to do tsunamis and all sorts of like cartoony nonsense like that. But yeah, I understand a lot of people like those, but you know, that could be why the docks are so tall. Is if the docks were not this tall, they might fear that tsunami is going to destroy everything. But who knows? I do not know if that was part of their thought process, because as you can see, it comes right up to the roof of Triton, so that's kind of silly. It'd be nice if the docks were a little bit lower, or quite a bit lower, actually. We could have gone up on the roof and gotten off there. All right, so Triton is back in the workbench. Let's see what we have for cash now. We have $643,000, and so we had about 67,000 liters of diesel on Triton. So let's go ahead and we'll get Minke in the world. Alright, so here is Minke. Minke's unfolding. Minke's about max size for the workbench, so it has to unfold when it comes into the world. So if we look at our fuel here, we now have about 52,000 liters remaining here at FJ. And so a good portion of it is in Minke here, and that will be used to go make us some cash. So this is known as ferrying fuel. You use the internal tanks of the aircraft to move fuel. And so you'll often do this, like say that an airport has very expensive fuel, and you have a deal at the home airport for essentially hedged fuel that you've paid a lower price for. It's better to carry the fuel because it costs you money to carry fuel. You have to burn fuel to carry fuel. This is going to be very evident probably in the space DLC. It's kind of the main issue with space IRL is that it requires a lot of fuel to carry the fuel, so that's why you have this enormous rocket to carry relatively small payload is because you need to carry all that fuel. All right, bats are on power connect. Let's go ahead. We'll turn on fuel valve 1 and 2. We'll start those two up. All right, we'll go ahead and we will turn on nav and strobe. We don't need nav yet. Nav and beacon is what I meant. Let's see, 1 and 2 gens are on. We'll go ahead and turn on hydraulics. All right, we're actually going to military base. Interesting. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the the wings down. Now we'll taxi out. We'll go ahead and we'll do fuel valves for 3 and 4. Those are the rear rotors. Those are coming up right now. All right, those are spooling. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll put the wings all the way down. As you can see, they're tilting down. Checking our fuel here, as you can see, we have about 26,500 pounds per side. And we'll go set up for this, so we'll go ahead and we'll put in 2,200. And runway heading is 072, 072. Okay, we'll pre-select altitude, hold, and heading hold. Taxi out on the runway here. So taxiing out, we need nav, logo, strobes, taxi, landing light. Before takeoff checklist complete, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over to our camera page. As you can see, because of the tail dragger, we really cannot see past our nose. This happens IRL. With tail draggers, you're not going to be able to see past the nose, so on this we have a camera to help. So go ahead, start to accelerate. Airspeed's alive. V1, rotate. Positive rate gear is coming up. And there's Minke in the air. Alright, we'll go ahead and I will turn on the autopilot. I'm going to go ahead and put a GPS course where I want to be here. So the runway, there's the emergency. Let's trace the runway all the way out. So the runway is going to be about, there's where we want to be. So we're going to go put that into the GPS. We'll go switch back to the bearing panel and we'll pre-select GPS. That should give us the heading there, and we'll go nav, and that should start to turn us once I take off heading hold. Alright, we start to bring the props back. We'll go to max speed for climb out, so bring the props back here about 158 knots, and we'll deselect the landing taxi, and we do not need logo on. So that is the after takeoff checklist complete. Gens should have been on, but not a big deal. Alright, good, good, good. So we're on our way here. So it shouldn't take us too long to get up there. It will give us an accurate reading once we, as you can see, we're heading straight towards it. So it's going to be about a little less than 3 minutes to get to that point. So there is Minke in all of her glory. So let's do a quick tour of this while we're flying. Might as well. It's a little bit loud because I don't have the, I have the headset on the seat. So these doors don't work yet. One is a lab, one is a closet. You often have a closet in the cockpit or right behind the cockpit. Have seating in here. Have a lab right here. And then we have, we can drop the ladder from here. And we'll go down. And so we have space here for 4 containers. We have 2 entry doors here. We have a gantry crane to be able to load and stage all the containers. So the gantry crane can put all the containers in their spot here. Still have an unfinished section in the back here. This is just unfinished area there that will probably be storage or crew stuff or something. But that is kind of it for Minke. Here are the center of gravity. Something there that needs to be fixed. Here are center of gravity marks. So those show you where the CG is. So you know you want to put cargo aligned with the CG so you don't screw up the center of gravity of the aircraft. Here we go. All right, we can put the ladder up. And we'll go back to flying here. So I don't like to be out of the cockpit for too long. All right, we're at 2,000 feet, so we're going to readjust our artificial horizon to show us where the real horizon is. And we're about 2 minutes away here, so the plan is we're going to come up to the waypoint here, but we can see ourselves, not a big deal, I have a GPS anyway. So we're going to come up here to this waypoint, and then we're going to turn in for the runway. As you can see, we have a, what is it, building is on fire 13,000. This one's actually good. We're going to do this one because we just have to put out the fire, and then the hospital's right there. We can put it out and then bring the peeps. So that works pretty well right there. So we're currently at max speed. So when you take off and land, you want low pitch, high RPM. So that allows your engine to quickly change speed, which gives you some versatility. It allows you to quickly put up the thrust when you're, let's say you're starting to stall on landing. You can quickly change your engine speed to prevent a stall. And then you start to bring the props back, and there's an area in there where the RPS of the engine is still going high enough that increasing the blade will give you the max speed. So we're taking the biggest bite out of the air at the highest RPM that we can produce. Once I go beyond this, so if I start bringing my props back, you'll notice that we start to go slower. And the reason is we're starting to overload the engine. So the blade of the propeller is starting to increase. It's taking such a big bite out of the air that it's putting a lot of strain on the engines. And that is slowing them down. Well, the byproduct of slowing down your engine is you are starting to burn less fuel. And so this is how you get to max efficiency. Max efficiency is a setting you'll often see in the manuals for airplanes on the charts for the propeller settings. And so what we've done is we've essentially gone up to, as you can see, 100% propeller, and that is giving us more efficient operation here because we are now we're now taking the biggest bite out of the air we can, and we've lost about 30% of our speed, but we've lost about 60% of our fuel burn as well. All right, so going past the volcano here, IRL, you do not want to be flying right over a volcano because that is a good way to get a bunch of ash in your turbines. All right, so we're going to get ready to turn here. So we're going to change our GPS coordinates, and we're turning for the runway. We're coming in on final here. We're going to go ahead. We're past the tallest mountain, so we can descend down to 1,000 feet. Make sure I take all the trim out. I had a trim in there, which was not helping me to descend. All right, starting to descend here, so what I'm going to do is start to come prop full forward. Again, prop full forward is one of your least efficient settings. That's going to be very low bite out of the air, very low prop pitch, but it's going to be very high RPM. So we burn a lot of fuel, create a lot of heat, and we're not doing that much work. And this is, again, beneficial. The whole reason we do this is because we want to be able to quickly change the speed of our engine in the event that we're going to crash or stall, which would result in a crash. And so that's the only time you really want to be using that. If you came in with, for example, at max speed, you're not going to be able to change your engine speed as fast. You know, if you came in at max efficiency, you're definitely not. If you looked, max efficiency is about the same speed, so why not just come in max efficiency? We take too big of a bite out of the air. We're not going to be able to change the engine speed fast enough. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. We should be coming in on final here. Looking pretty good here. Can't really see at the moment because of the way the nose is, so I'm just going to put on the camera, the nose cam. I can see it right ahead of us there. So there it is right there. All right. So it's looking good on final here. We're leveling off at 1,000. I don't really want that, so I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to take the autopilot all the way off. And I'm going to hand fly us in the rest of the way. So there is the military island right ahead. I can see the tower, and the runway is right here next to the tower. So we're going to go landing gear down. Lights are coming on. Landing gear is in transit. Landing gear is down. 3 green. Lights are on before landing checklist complete. So you also do prop set. Prop set just meaning the props are all the way up. All right, and we're starting to see the runway here where you need to come to the east a little bit here. So about 100 knots, 110 is a good speed to come in here. We're a little bit fast, that's fine. I'll bring the speed down just a hair. This doesn't have flaps, so it, I don't like to get below, 90 on this. I can tilt the wings up, and that's kind of my flap. So if I wanted to come in even slower, if I wanted to come in 60 knots, I could tilt my wings up because this is a tilt wing. So we don't have very good viz on this. This is what you get in large cargo airplanes a lot of times, is you really don't have much viz. So I'm using the camera. There we go. And I was very low, so I needed to come in a little bit higher. So this one has a very high cockpit on it, so. And we're going to actually need to tag some brakes on this one. Not too much. There we go. All right, so we are now in reverse on our propellers. That's one way we can help slow down in this plane. So with a big tail dragger like this, you do need to use something like a camera to be able to see. And so what happens in real life is there are diagrams that will, taxi diagrams that will tell you how wide the taxiways are. And as long as you put your nose wheel on that center line, you're not going to hit anything. And so that's kind of how you operate. For example, most jets you cannot see your wingtips, and so you just kind of have to. You look at the chart, you make sure that, yep, I'm not too wide for this taxiway, and then you just follow the line. As long as you follow the line, we might run off the road here a little bit. I turned a little bit tight. There we go. All right, there we go. We're taxiing in on the line here, so just using the monitor again. In tail draggers, what they'll do is, let's say you had a small tail dragger. Let me see. Did I hurt my tail wheel here? I did. I think we're good here. Let me just turn my tail wheel here, and we'll try to go forward here. I didn't know if I ran off. All right, there we go. We're good. I just wanted to make sure I didn't break something and further break it. Don't have much visibility. In small tail draggers, you think like World War II fighters, what they would do, all sorts of aerobatic planes that are tail draggers, what they do is they zigzag. And that's because you can see out of the corners here a little bit better than the nose. So for example, you would zigzag, and as you zigzag, you can see what's going on out there. So I'm just going to keep us taxiing in slowly here. We are, like I said, max size for this, so we really need to be careful here. We do have a transit light on the tail wheel. I had issues with this tail wheel before, not locking, so it looks like the tail wheel's not locking, so I need to fix that. So we're just going to come right in here into the hangar. As you can see, we are very close because I built this to be max size, so it looks like we're going to hit. We're not, but... and we'll go right into beta here. Now brakes, and I'll go ahead and put the park brake on. We'll go ahead and close all the fuel valves. Go ahead, shut all our 4 generators off. Hydraulics can come off. All the lighting can come off. We do lighting after landing generally. Power connect, battery is off. All right, so we are shut down. Let's go ahead downstairs. I think I left. Did I leave the ladder? No, I folded the ladder. All right, let's go downstairs here. And we will put this in the bench. That will put all that jet fuel in this base for us, and we can trade it. So, yep, I'm having tail wheels up. It's just I need to check on something. Something is awry on that. All right, good. So Minke is now at military. Let's go ahead and we'll zoom in and we'll check it out. All right, so we have 34,000 liters of jet in there. Excellent. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring up my fire truck. So let's grab that. All right, and so this was for a JSI challenge. I won the JSI challenge on that, so that was fun to participate in, and this gives me a good reason to bring this out. So awesome, awesome. So it's good to have a reason to operate this. So let's go ahead and start her up. And there we go. We have an airport. So with the tiller, we can steer the trailer independently. That's kind of the benefit of a tiller fire truck. These are city fire trucks, and so they, you have to worry about going around very tight corners in the city, and so you would use the tiller to be able to steer the trailer independently. That's what the little cab in the back there is for. All right, so let's go, and we're gonna go set up here, and we want to. We're going to use the tractor as part of the stability here. So right there. Okay, beautiful. Let's set the brakes. We don't need the siren anymore. All right. And we'll shut off the backup alarm. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get this moving here. So I want to see if I can remember all this. All right, if you have an issue like that, it's you have to get close to the door. Sometimes it's just a that's a game issue. And sometimes if you sit in your seat, it will take you out of the equation. And as you can see, still misbehaving. Okay, it's still misbehaving here. We kind of need that. See if all these doors are bunged up or just that one. So that's a game thing. You can't do much about that. You kind of have to just keep playing with it, and hopefully it opens up on you. So I will start fighting this. I want to fight this fire here. Let's see. I want to get this working here. That is a game issue, not a me issue. That is, you see like some more sticking. That's just the game issue here. So let's lift this ladder up, and sometimes if you have a couple parts close to one another, it will do this. So we'll start to lift the ladder and see if it will let those doors swing open. It's just some funky game physics. All right, let's try and see what we can do here. Still misbehaving. Okay, that's fine. I'll leave those primed, and then hopefully they come out. We might be able to do this without having the supports out. All right, and so we want to spray water here. There we go. All right, so putting out the fire here. So we're going to do the exterior fire, and then I do have a hose I can walk inside, but I need that panel open. So if that panel won't open for me, we're kind of going to have to do what we're going to have to do here. See if I can get most of this fire out with the ladder. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to see if that opened up. These panels, I do not know why these panels are misbehaving. That is definitely a game issue, so it could just be that it's laggy because of the fact that we have the mission going here, and it's just slowing things down here. So I'm not on the right spot here. I'm presently sitting in the truck. I thought I was up controlling the ladder. Wow. It's getting annoying here, not being able to jump up there. Come on, dude. There we go. Okay, fire's extinguished. All right, good. So we get the fire out. Not as graceful as I would have liked, but fire truck works. Some of it does. So that's a game issue. That happens from time to time. Generally, it's something you get your seat away, you get yourself away from it or close to it. That will help. So it didn't do it this time. So I will have to diagnose that problem because it wasn't doing that before. You can watch the live stream. Did testing on all that. It was working. Whoa, come on there, guy. There we go. All right. So, okay, now the door's open. That's funky. So that was something to do with the ladder. It was probably, eventually you get to the point where the physics just can't handle it. So what I was going to do here is if we open up, I would have taken this hose. We can pretend. Take this hose, and if we plug it into the fuel hose anchor, and we water pump out, As you can see, we can do handheld firefighting. I should have also put my fire suit on, but we can absolutely plaster that guy with agua fria. But yep, so it seemed like it was just a disconnect issue, so not the end of the world. But so there's not much for me to fix on that. That is just an issue with the game. So you know, you kind of have to live with it and work around the constraints of the game. All right, so what do we have? We have a couple peeps here, I believe. Do we have peeps? We have peeps. Let's see. 5 casualties. Good lordy, lordy, loo. Let's see. All right, so if I can't pick them up, they're not part of the rescue. Generally, for these types of missions, they're in the building here. So like this one, yep, he can come. And then we have plenty of seating in the fire truck, so we can take them in the fire truck. Coming? When you come on with there, sir. When you come on there with there, sir. So it's nice to use a fire truck. Kind of glad we got one. Generally, it's hard to get a mission that you can drive to. And so this one worked out about perfectly, so. Right. So what was that? 1 through 3? We have 2 more. Those 2 upstairs in the conference room. Very nice. 1 there, probably in the tower, I'm thinking. Let's see. How do I get out of here? I think I have to go outside staircase to get the last person, so that makes sense. Probably up here on the tower. Yep, here there, guy. There you are, lady, beehive. Good lord, look at that hair. Alright, so let's get them put away. She's in dire straits. Let's go ahead and I'm going to pump some med packs into them, try to get them. You know, we lose money the lower their health is, so I want to get a health pack into her. So let's go ahead and not sure where they are. There we go. Right there. All right. Plenty of equipment on this fire truck, so. All right. So they look all good. She looks like she was right above the fire, so that makes sense to me that she got kind of tagged by some flame. All right, let's put all this away. You know, if I could have got this door open, so what I need to do is open this door before I detach it. That's just a game thing. I can put these supports out, and those supports, you know, are important to keep us stable. So I have supports forward and aft. I'm not going to put them all the way down, but as you can see here, we have supports in the rear as well. So those would have been for stability, but we're all set now. All right, good. So let's go ahead and we will close this up. And we'll siren out of here. And I do have some simulated air brakes on here, so we do have a leak, and I have to fill the air tanks. You see her waving her arm. Yep, we're coming. We're coming here. There we go. All right. So let's get out, and we'll grab all these peeps. Let's grab this officer. Come on. I meant to put this guy down. It wouldn't let me put him down because it was too close to the other guy. That's why. He was acting the fool. Is that it? That looks to be it. Okay, so let's see. You, you, and you. If you could all follow me, I'd be ever so grateful. And, like, I did ask you guys to follow me, but now you're not going to. Alright, there we go. Hello, docs. And look, we have a little bit extra loot here. Beautiful. That's good. Good to get some cash on us. Alright. So lock these people in there so they can't act the fool anymore. Alright, excellent. So that was some fun missions there. You really? You missed me that much? Shio was all with him. I'm not that interested in. All right, so that was a good set of missions there. There was some bunch of different stuff there. It was nice to get the fuel up here. So if we go ahead and look at the base here, we have 34,000 liters. So what I can do is I'll head down here off screen, and I just need to transfer fuel from this pump to this pump, and I sell it for $6 a liter. So we have about 30,000 liters sitting in here, or over 30,000 now. So probably sell out about 30,000, and that'll be a good bit of money. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one.